p.m. We will call to order the regular meeting of the Clarkston Community Schools Board of Education. If you could all please rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next order of business is to administer the oath of office for the newly elected and re-elected board members. We do have one of our newly elected members who unfortunately is not feeling well and could not make the meeting tonight. But at the last November election, both Mrs. Crane and I were re-elected, and under our board policy, we will have the board vice president swear in the president, and then vice versa. So, Mrs. Crane.
Okay. Mr. Need, please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of member of the Board of Education
of the office of member of the Board of Education
of Clarkston Community Schools
of Clarkston Community Schools
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Mrs. Crane, please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education
the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education
of Clarkston Community
of
Schools
Clarkston Community Schools
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Item 1.5 is roll call. Mrs. McLean, if you could please call the roll.
Mrs. McGinnis.
Here.
Mr. Heyer. Here. Mrs. Egan.
Here.
Mrs. Love. Here. Mr. Clark.
Mrs. Crane?
Here.
Mr. Neat?
Here. We have a quorum. We will proceed. Mr. Clark apologizes. He is ill and unable to make it. I did speak with him yesterday. He wanted me to convey his regrets for not being here. We will take care of his swearing in at the February board meeting. Item 2 is, the reading of the public statement. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community hearing. There is a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in agenda items 3 and 9. Item 2 is the consent agenda. May I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education approves the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion's made and supported. One of the items does require a roll call, so Mrs. McLean, if you could please call the roll again.
Mrs. Crane?
Yes.
Mrs. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. Heyer? Yes. Mr. Clark? Mr. Neat?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Item 3, citizens' request to address the board. You are given 2 opportunities to address the board. Under this item, item 3.1, you can ask to address the board on any topic on tonight's agenda, or on item 9, you're welcome to address the board on any topic. When making comments, please state your name and address. Direct your comments here to the board president. Each person may speak for up to 2 minutes, and per our established board procedures, the board will not respond to questions or interact with the speaker during public comment, although we may refer the matter to our administration for follow-up. Mrs. Mahoney? Okay, thank you. There is no one that requested to address the board from the public on an agenda topic, and again, under item 9, you may address the board on any topic. Item 4, superintendent update. Dr. Ryan.
Thank you, President Eade. Well, to all our Clarkston faithful, mid-January, absolutely a winter wonderland out there, and our students are preparing this week to take their final exams for the first semester in our secondary buildings. And I know they're hard at work this evening and across this week, and They'll be finishing up with half days on Thursday, Friday as they complete those exams. And this Monday on MLK Day, we'll be closed as an entire district, which fits nicely into the space between semesters, and then also a great day to recognize important individual in history and their contributions as a district. I also want to congratulate our Business Professionals in America students at CHS. The recent statewide competition, 44 of our students finished in the top 10 of their events, and 31 students qualified for the State Leadership Conference, which will be in Grand Rapids in March. Additionally, congratulations also go out to CHS teacher Laura Kalinowski, who received back-to-back top-rated class awards from Autodesk University. Laura provides training for other CTE teachers through the program, and these awards recognize the hard work and dedication Laura puts in all that she does. So salute, hats off to Laura, and I wish good luck to all of our students as they go into exam week.
Thank you, Dr. Ryan. Item 5, presentation items. 5.1, School Board Recognition Month. Again,
you.
Dr. Ryan.
First, as Superintendent, I'd like to defer a moment to Ms. Beth Rogers, who's going to come up on behalf of the Clarkston Education Association, and then I will fill in with her in tandem.
Good evening, President Need and
Good
board
evening.
members. On behalf of the Clarkston Education Association, I would like to thank you for all that you do for our students, staff, and community. We all know that strong schools are a key part of a thriving community, and your commitment to working with our administration and supporting our staff is greatly appreciated. We know how truly blessed we are to have such a dedicated and conscientious board. In recognition of your commitment to our schools and community, and in honor of School Board Appreciation Month, the CEA will be donating a book in your name to the Learning Commons in each of our school buildings. Again, on behalf of the CEA and all of its members, thank you for everything that you do to move Clarkston Community Schools forward and to provide our students with a quality public education.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
And on behalf of your superintendent, a couple words. Sometimes I struggle with keeping things brief, and to be honest with you, to our community, and being able to recognize our school board this evening and the members that serve, I can't say enough about. It's truly a volunteer job where citizens within their community donate vast amounts of their time for the benefit of the community as a whole, and especially the community's children. And we have a board that sometimes, I believe, even the best that we do appreciate what they bring and what they do for our community, sometimes it's really hard to see how big they actually shine when it comes to a comparative look at our boards across the state of Michigan. And it's more than just their expertise. Hands down, they are arguably one of the most decorated boards in Michigan history. And I say that not lightly, based on the credits they've completed, the awards and recognitions that they've been given, the posts that they've held both in state and national leadership, representing schools, children, school districts, and education as a whole is second to none, as far as I've come across. And they do that with an attitude and a focus that is squarely on the community's children and the wellness overall of our community as a whole, and our staff and everyone affiliated with Clarkston Schools. There's a real heart to the people that sit up here, and it's not an easy job. As we know in American politics today, nothing slides by with anybody giving people the benefit of the doubt. And these individuals that sit next to me right and left, week, month after month, and year after year, exemplify that fortitude, that grit, that resilience, that passion, that know-how and expertise and knowledge base in all aspects of how they apply it to their jobs. And we're truly fortunate because we also have school board members that really within their individual industries across their different talents and what they do when they're not being part of Clarkston Schools brings value to our school district, brings value to the governance of our leadership within our school community. And as your superintendent, over now in starting 8th year, together working with our Clarkston board, I can say on behalf of our administrators, our staff, that we are truly, truly lucky to have a board that has that kind of focus. And I just hope, in being able to share my day-to-day travels and the tribulations and challenges that I've gone through with the members that sit up before you tonight, I tell you to a person, they're good people to start out with. And when it comes to knowing a thing or two about leadership, they are amazing leaders. And I judge leaders not by always the wisdom or how good they look in terms of being able to show off and be able to be at the front of the line. I look at true value of leaders that really recognize everyone that's part of their organization, everyone that's part of their school system, and from top to bottom, I could never imagine working with a more caring group of people. And that's probably the biggest compliment in terms of the kindness and focus they bring. So I hope, as your superintendent, and I do not take for granted for an instant, the opportunity to work with such great individuals, and I hope that we can keep this tradition and carry on from top to bottom of every one of you that's sitting up here with me tonight. And as we welcome Mike, and I had a couple words specifically for him, seeing the experience that we have in this board as well, I'd like just to say, on behalf of everyone, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate everything you guys do. And as a small token, did not go the book route. It's really cold outside, so we're going to keep their noodles, their heads warm, and their drinks cold. So a little Clarkston swag, so when they leave here tonight, that they can keep warm as well. So again, thanks for all you guys do, and I look forward to continuing working with you, as I know I speak for everyone in the room tonight.
Well, thank you, Dr. Ryan.
Thank you.
I think as a board, everything we do, we try to do for the best interest of our kids. That's always uppermost. And our job is made easier by the administration that we work with and our outstanding teaching staff and support staff. So we thank you as well. So. Moving on to action items, item 6.1, approval of personnel changes. May I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education approves the personnel changes as listed on the attached sheets.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any questions for Mr. Lucido or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Item 6.2 is approval of lighting at the Clarkston High School Performing Arts Center. May I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education approves the lighting upgrades for the CHS Performing Arts Center from Fantasy Integration in the amount of $59,580 as presented.
Is there support?
Support.
Motion's made and supported. Any comments or discussion? Mrs. Love?
Yeah, I had a question. It said in the packet that there was only one place in the entire state that could fulfill this request. And I'm just wondering why that might be. Is it something that's unique or?
No, it's talking about the lighting specifically.
I know Mrs. Seaman had responded to me that that was the only one that responded with the exact specifications they were looking for, and that could do the installation in a timely fashion. She said
And had a reputation in previous jobs that they were able to complete on the same site.
and they're a Michigan member as well.
Right, okay.
Anything else? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Item 6.3 is the approval of some foundation work at the new junior high. May I have a motion, please?
I move the Board of Education approve the construction change orders for J.J. Barney Bulletin Number 5 in the amount of $130,550 and J.J. Barney's additional backfill in the amount of $73,918 as presented.
Support.
Motion's made and supported. Any comments or questions? I did have to look up what a helical pier was, since I wasn't familiar with that, but so now I have that expertise. So it's a learning process for all of us. Any,
I have a question.
Mrs. McGinnis.
I'm noticing that it says that the contingency will be used to pay for the charge order for bulletin number 5. Just in the future, can we get an update on the balance on 2022 bond? Thank you.
I believe this is the first thing from the contingency.
I think that's correct.
So it's
It is, we'll
entirely
keep a running
left.
total up for you.
Thank you.
That'd be great. Thank you, Mrs. McGinnis. Thank you, Dr. Ryan. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Item 7.1 is our monthly finance report. Mrs. Rogers.
Hello. Okay, so this is the report that'll get you through December of '24. Includes November and December activity. And I think we're pretty much right on track. We're at budget to actual revenues 35%, budget to actual expenditures around 40%. And you'll see our fund equity at approximately 21 million as of December 24, but it's always down right about now because we're still playing a lot of catch up with our federal and state funding. But as you can see, the state and the federal revenue is starting to come in. We have received a little bit. We'll receive a bunch more in probably January and February. Do you guys have any questions on any of the check registers or any of the reports that have been given to you?
Any questions? Okay, thank you very much. We have no discussion items tonight. Item 9 is the second opportunity for citizen comment. This is the point where you can address the board on any topic. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to address the board? Okay. Our next Board of Education meeting will be our regular meeting, Monday, February 10th at 7 p.m. here in the boardroom. Item 11 is adjournment. May I have a motion, please?
I move to adjourn.
Support.
Motion's made and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, everybody. We are adjourned.